Forward to it. In a masochist. No, I'm not going to say that. Good afternoon, good morning, Facebook, and it's myself and David. Hello, David.
Hello. You're a bad liar, by the way, Stephen.
Well, I'm so looking forward to it. What Corinda has said. To catch up with the news. Hey guys, I'm going to a media production show. I'll watch the replay and also share it. To which you replied, "Thank you." So that's good.
Do you know what media show he's talking about?
Yeah, he did tell me. Well, no, I don't know. No, he told me about one that's taking place in May. He didn't tell me about one that's taking place now. So
yeah, he mentioned something about it, and I'm not really sure what it is. And who's that? Rom? Did I get that right?
Rom, nice to see you. Brilliant. And people are turning up, which is good.
Nice to see you, Rom. Do you know Rom?
Getting to know him. No.
Okay. That's first I've nice to meet you, Rom.
Through Belivers and around Facebook.
Okay, very good.
Now watching the show, which is awesome. How was your weekend, sir?
Holy crazy busy, Batman. That's what I can say about that. Let's see, what it was Friday was Sting game.
Mm-hmm.
And some stuff during the day, and then Saturday was I worked at the Fox FM.
I saw that, yes.
Yeah, and then I came home and did had late lunch with Jenny Moons, and then we got ready for a gala that is a gala called the Hearts for Youth Gala, part of the Sarnia Lambton Rebound, which is a local organization that supports youth and youth programs in the community. So we went and did that and ate and acted silly, getting our pictures taken, all that sort of stuff. And then back at the Sting game again yesterday.
You got beat, did you not?
Define beat.
Yeah.
More.
You came second.
Yeah. Like 7-0 second. So we got something about a whip. They took a whipping. Yeah, it's not. And then so there was that, and then post game interview was with the head coach actually, and that's only the second time we've seen him in an interview.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of going viral because in the hockey world, because of how he said that. He basically just said, "I'm really disappointed in this team." Ooh, and yeah. So
Barry's saying it wasn't the best of games for the Sting yesterday.
That's everybody's being polite.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So anyway, it is what it is. They're last place. Yeah.
All right. So the only way is up now.
Well,
are there divisions, or is it just one?
Yeah,
division?
there's like Eastern, Western, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Right.
So, but they're last place. Period. But they're off. How many? I don't know. 20 maybe.
Right.
Like total. No, it's got to be less than that. Because there's, maybe about 20. There's 35 home games. But, yeah, there you go. Dan says lost 19 out of 21 games. So, yeah, there's probably about 15 games left, I think.
So it's time enough
home
to turn
games.
It around.
Yeah, there's time to turn it around, but we'll see. Post-game interviews get tougher every time.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I, as you know, I follow Burnley, and there's been no football over the weekend. So we're still got the same points as Arsenal. We need 9 more points to stop the drop. So hopefully we can do that with 13 games to go.
Oh, pardon me. I want to sneeze.
Comments. Barry's saying, yes, I'm being kind. And Kelly's saying, deleted my comment that was rooting for the underdogs because of embarrassment. Okay. I've done that before now.
Now I know what he was talking about. I saw that the other day and I was like, what's he talking about? Okay. Hi, Dom.
So that's Dom. Yeah. Well, my weekend has been another comment coming in. Did you watch XFL? Well, first of all, 2 questions. Did you watch it? And 2, what is it?
No, I did not, Dan. Well, I was pretty so busy. I forgot all about it. I was busy at the Sting games and all that other stuff. And the XFL, you know who Vince McMahon is?
You've spoken of him before, yes.
Okay, so he's the owner of WWE Wrestling.
Yes.
Okay. And years ago, I believe in like 2002 or something like that. I'm sure Dan will probably correct me.
Yeah.
He created the XFL, which was an extreme football league.
All right. Okay.
And it didn't. And one of the things they did was they put a football in the middle of the field and both sides ran, and whoever got the ball first was. So there was. Anyway, it was a flop. It didn't go well. And I believe the first game was like the same day as, I don't know if it was Super Bowl or the first day of football. Anyway, something like that. And it didn't go very well. So now there was this big announcement a little while back that Vince McMahon was going to do it again. And there's lots of debate on whether he should or, was he ahead of his time last time and all this other stuff. So no, I have not. Okay, 2001. Yeah. So no, Dan, did you watch it? Because I haven't even had 2001. Yeah. So he's going to stick with being a Kitchener Ranger fan. Yeah. Traitor. Kelly, that's who we played, was the Kitchener Rangers, and they're about an hour and a half from Sarnia, and that's I think where Kelly was from at one point. So he's saying he's just going to stick with being their fan because they're the ones who thumped our bum.
Yeah. Okay, hometown. Well, your state. I mean, you hometown is your first love normally.
Yeah.
Whatever the sport, and over to Corinda. Corinda's here. Is a hotel. Right, okay. Which show are you going to see tomorrow, Corinda? Okay, but it's good to hear you're up and about, which is brilliant. All right, okay. I know that our weather, in comparison to your winters, could be termed mild, but it started raining on Saturday. And if I look out the window now, it's still raining. It's proverbial flood all throughout the UK, and it's raining so hard you just don't want to go out in it because within 60 seconds you'd be drenched. So family came over. We had a family weekend, which was fortunate. They travelled to us rather than us travelling to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was a quiet family weekend, and
it's really finally changed around here. I mean, we finally got some snow, and when I say finally, like I welcomed it. Well, because I had a choice, but I say finally because it's supposed to snow this time of year, and we really haven't. We've been like in the pluses for quite some time, and then we got some snow on the weekend, quite a bit yesterday, and now we're back up to over 1 degree, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to be back over 0 degrees Celsius again, and then back to it's really been a crazy, like Mother Nature smoking. Woohoo!
Well, ours could turn to snow tomorrow, so we're waiting to see, but not like your snow. We're talking about 2-3 inches, 5 centimeters.
Yeah.
Right. Corinda's saying he's at the media production show, and all right, okay. Now, occasionally we do cover topics which are serious. Coronavirus.
Yeah.
Today in the UK, we doubled from 4 to 8 known people suffering from the virus, and they've closed a school and they've closed a doctor's surgery within the last 24 hours. So it's basically how many people actually travel the globe and go over to China and Hong Kong and then come back and go to work as normal because they don't know they're actually carrying it because it's not actually showing symptoms. And that's the most difficult part, isn't it? When you don't know you're contagious, but you're actually going out and doing a normal job. And if that job is working in a school or working in a doctor's surgery, then you're in contact with a lot of people. So the school has been closed. Everybody's in quarantine. The doctor's surgery has been closed, and patients are told to contact the National Health Service, and they'll be advised what to do. But effectively, anybody who's visited the surgery in the last 14 days would have to go into self-isolation. You've got two choices. Right. Two choices in the UK. If you were brought back from Wuhan, then you can go into government-organised accommodation for an isolation period of 14 days, or you can self-isolate. Sounds a strange concept, but self-isolate, which effectively in English means staying at home for 14 days.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think we're at number 7 in Canada. So I guess I don't know how to say that's a good number, but
it's a low number.
It's a low number, yeah. So that's good for that. And our world, the World Health Organization, it's really on top of it, and they know their stuff. They're there for a reason, and they're doing what they can about it. Interestingly, I'll mention later today on my show, I'm interviewing a gentleman by the name of Alan McEwen, and he talks about viruses and bacteria and microprobes. And of course, in that conversation, we talked a little bit about the coronavirus. So, good interview coming up later today. But, that's it's certainly affecting a lot of people, right? And it's certainly brings to mind, like, are we all being as careful as we should be, and even as simple as just washing your hands regularly throughout the day, a big part of it. And
yes, especially before touching food or anything like that.
Well, that's what it. Yeah. So anyway, good conversation, but so
that's
positive thoughts to those dealing with it.
Indeed. I hope that it does run its course very quickly. And Barry's saying, I'm still a Sting fan and won't be jumping ship. Just hoping they start improving the rest of the season. Right. Well, I know nothing of what's going on, but I'm barracking for the Sting. So, if that makes any difference whatsoever. I don't know any of your opposition, but I will barrack for the Sting. And Corinda is saying, David, you love this. I got a new delivery parcel, and guess what was the new stand for the mobile? So now I don't need to put my phone in my hand. I just put it on the stand with a mic, and I can turn it around. Brilliant.
Awesome. That's good.
Okay. I'm just glad I can actually read the small text now. New glasses.
Oh, yeah. I got my new cheaters out the other day because I broke my other ones.
Right.
So I went to the dollar store.
Yeah. The thing is, I actually changed glasses 2 weeks ago now. Nobody noticed, which is a good thing, I think. I think it's a good thing. Right. Okay. All of which brings us on to microphones. Did a survey in Believers. I'm just going to go to Believers and try and find out it was the response to this was absolutely amazing, because I just put in the question. Somebody was looking for someone who had experience with a mixer.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't see that.
I thought I'll try and find out who's actually using a mixer. I did so by way of asking a question about microphones. I'm just scrolling. Oh, it's busy in Belivers now. Can't even get to my poll. It's so far down, it's not true. It's obviously the place to be. Keep on going. I think I'll come back to that, because I can't find you there.
Use the search. Can you use the search? Will the search help?
I didn't put any keywords in. I found us live, which is good. I just got. Oh, right. Okay. I have it. In fact, about 60 people responded.
Wow.
And 37 people have actually got an external microphone, which is what you and I have. It does make a ton of difference, doesn't it? In fact, 40 people, because Brigetti and Fons voted as well. But surprisingly, the surprising figure is that 13 people have got a mixer.
Yeah, I've been thinking about. Oh, I was going to do that. I was supposed to do that, wasn't I? I forgot.
Okay, no worries.
I'm supposed to hook in my mixer, because I'm looking here. I don't have them hooked up, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 sitting over there, and I got another one in my bag for the Sting game. 5. I got 5 or 6 mixers. Yeah. And I used to have one hooked up here back. Anyway, I go live at a talk show, so I have a microphone in front of me. I have my
You don't have somebody sat next. You don't have somebody sat next to you and 2 microphones to run into a mixer.
No, and right, and that's the Sting's a good example. When I go live, and I'm not using Be Live, but same idea. I have a little mini mixer about this big, and I can plug both the headset mics in, and I can control volume and stuff like that. And I do have a line input if I wanted to. Maybe I should try that. I could plug it in my phone, and I could have my sound effects or whatever on my on my phone and do stuff. So
okay,
yeah.
Right,
mixers certainly have a lot of advantages.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking about upgrading my microphone again, because as you noticed first time I used it, when it was the wrong way around, it does pick up background noises. So I'm going to take a look at the Audio Technica AT2020, which was recommended in the survey. So I have a different microphone next week.
Now, is that a mounted microphone, like similar to mine, like it's on a desk, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get what's it called? You can get a shock mount.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
One of the kind of microphones that I don't, and I used to use it. I don't for this now because I have my wonderful Blue Yeti. But as a lav mic,
right?
A simple clip-on, a clip-on mic, and like honestly, you clip it right here and plug it right into your computer, and away you go. And those lav mics give a great sound. Right, and it just picks up the voice. It doesn't. I mean, that's an option too, and I've got a bunch of those. I actually have for my interviews that I do, it's often myself and one other person, and I have a system there. It's a dual lav mic, so it's 2 that goes into one line. And I can plug it into my smartphone or a computer. There's a switch for smartphone or computer. It's got a really long cord on it. And you listen today and you'll notice it's just fantastic quality sound, in my opinion. So it all comes down to what you're doing, right?
That's true. Yeah, it does.
And it's not always just about sound. It's not always just about sound.
Okay.
I find, well, for example, if I'm interviewing some people, but there's me and there's maybe 2 or 3 other people in the interview, then I have my wireless handheld microphone so that I can accordingly, and it's also very directional. But if I'm just sitting down and it's myself and one other person, then I used to do a lav, because a microphone creates a bit of a ambiance in an interview as well. You know, if I have the clip-on mic or the lav mic, and I'm talking with my hands now, and it comes across more like a conversation rather than an interview. Whereas if I'm holding the microphone, it seems it gives the idea of it's more of an interview. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's a part of the presentation, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally. I went live early today, and I said I'm launching shows on YouTube this week, and they're going to be one every day, all at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I said I'm looking for a guest, and somebody who's watching said I'll be a guest. So there you have it. Somebody I don't know on the first ever interview on YouTube will be
that's cool.
Thursday. It is cool. That's the way I like it. That's the way, when you actually get, like we've got today, we've got interaction. Corinda is looking forward to Formula One. So am I. First race is in Melbourne in March. And the Melbourne track, I've actually walked because we stayed in a hotel not far from there. So I actually walked around the track. In fact, I've walked around 2 tracks. I've walked around the Melbourne one, which is in Melbourne Park, and I've also done the one in Monte Carlo.
Oh, neat.
Right. Okay. And you don't need a mixer, says
I don't.
Kelly.
What's he talking about? What are you talking about, Kelly?
You don't need a mixer. You can make your own sound effects. You don't need a mixer to create the sound effects.
Yeah, I know, but if I know Kelly, he's referring to something.
Oh, right.
Something I did or something. So you better let me know, Kelly. Well, speaking of racing, funny how this leads into later today. I'm interviewing a gentleman by the name of Ryan Kerr. You've heard me talk about the lawnmower racing before. And Ryan is from Petrolia, which is about 15 minutes away from us. And he lives in the town of Petrolia, where the Western Ontario Outlaws have their club. He is actually a United States lawnmower racing champion from 2012, and he builds these lawnmower. Well, you'll see in the interview, he's quite a guy and a champion that lives right here in our backyard. So, and we show a little bit of video of his racing as well. So. Racing, yeah, and he used to be a drag racer as well. And if you Google Ryan Kerr, likely what will come up is a young motorcycle racer fellow. That's not him, but he's the next one. But so that's coming up later today. I still want to know what Kelly's talking about for sound effects. But anyway, yeah. So I can't hear you. Your sound is gone.
David has been waiting to do this since we went live, and it's now time for. Are you ready for drum? We need a sound effect. We need a drum roll. I'm going to go quiet. Right. I'm going to disappear. Go over to David Burrows.
There's my sound effects, Kelly.
Dad jokes.
Well, I got to get my glasses on. This is old dad jokes. Boy, I got a lot of great going on up there. All right. Why do scuba divers fall backwards into the water?
I don't know, David. Why do scuba divers fall backwards into the water?
Because if they fell forward, they'd still be in the boat. I haven't even read these yet.
No, that's one groan. I'm smiling.
I haven't even read these yet, so I'm just as surprised as you. Okay. My friend told me this joke about a party host who made his guests line up for juice. I can't remember the entire joke anymore. All I know is that there was a long punch line.
Oh, that's a big groan. Oh, dear. We're going well.
What do you call a wandering caveman?
I don't know, David. What do you call a wandering caveman?
A Neanderthal. I don't even get that. Next. What do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear. Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is
I'm ready.
really-
I'm waiting.
Get your best grown. Ready. What did one ocean say to the other ocean?
I don't
Nothing.
know, David.
Nothing. It just
Ocean-
waved.
Oh, no. Save me.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, last one for today. How many surrealists does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Light bulbs don't
Fish.
I don't know. I don't know. What is the answer, David?
Fish. I don't get
Fish.
it.
It could be 42.
Wow.
Right. There is no answer. It's just surreal, really. Just
They
surreal.
get better at some point, I think.
Right. And Kelly is saying the Daytona 500 start time is 2:30 on Sunday, the February 17th.
Okay, there you go.
I'd love to actually go there and watch that. Yeah, that's
I've never been. I guess just across the bridge from us here in Michigan, there's some racing, but I've never been. My son has been with his mother before, but Jason, man. Speaking of Jason,
yes.
as a father likes to brag about his children,
Of course.
Jason tried out for a VR team, a virtual reality league,
Right.
for a particular game called Pavlov, and virtual reality. So he's got, he used to have it set up here, but keeps getting taller. So he actually has it set up at his mother's house now. So she's got taller ceilings. So we don't see him as much anymore because his stuff's over there now. But anyway, he tried out for a VR league, and which he got accepted to this team. This team he met in a room that he was playing these games in, and they said, "Hey, you're pretty good. Would you like to try out?" So he had to do a tryout, and then he had to wait a couple of days, and then he got the word that he was in, and they just dropped down from 14, but they could come back. His team that he is on is ranked 17th in the world.
Wow.
Out of about 60 plus teams in this league.
Yeah.
It's called the Master VR League. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, Dad, we were like 14th. And I'm like, that's kind of cool.
VR is a bit of a mystery, isn't it? Have you tried it? It's a mystery to me. Have you tried it?
Well, oh yeah, I've tried it. Oh yeah. We actually have a place here called District Beta where they actually have booths that you can rent by the hour to do this.
Okay.
But Jason has his own, like, quite an expensive.
Yeah.
He's got the headset and the earphone, and he's got these remote handles, and there's sensors up around him, and yeah, and now he's talking about upgrading his headset and getting rid of this one, and it's like $800 or something just for the headset. And
that's expensive, but it's no longer a hobby if he's in the team.
Well, and here's the thing, if we can talk about that for a few minutes, it's like, and when I say it's different levels, but I mean, it's like trying out for a sport like baseball or hockey or whatever. And this is the new sport, the e-sports that we talk about. And he's in a position right now where if he keeps going, he could go pro, right?
Mm-hmm.
And get paid for that. And, I've explained to him, not just in one conversation, but as he's grown older, the importance of timing. And VR is still very it's still very new as in the esports world. Whereas, you know, I say regular video games has grown tremendously, but to be in that world and then be a part of a team like that, and then if you continue to be good, I could really see a lot of things. So this is where, like, instead of buying expensive skates and hockey sticks and padding and all that other stuff, you're buying the equipment and the whatever, and you're putting in the practice, the sweat equity for no money until you get to that point of pro. And so I'm pretty proud of him for that. It's like in the world, right? So yeah, that's kind of cool. I did ask if there was a place to watch. They don't. They will be streaming some of it, but so I'm looking forward to watching some of that. Yeah, it's a little quieter around here because when he was here and he played it here, he'd get like yelling and whoa, hey, look out over there and all this other stuff. And
it was immersed in the game.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Indeed. Right. Okay. There's no agenda as usual, so we can go to any topic. And if you've got an idea as to what we could talk about, then
I do.
Go on then. All right. All yours. Go. Leonard Cohen. Yes.
Yeah. So I was at a. I got to get my old man glasses out. This is called "Let Us Compare Mythologies: Poems by Leonard Cohen," and I was at a. Thanks, Barry, for that. I'll let him. Where did I get that? Oh, it was a Sarnia Special Olympics had their Christmas party in December, and they asked me. I volunteered to run karaoke for them. It was a lot of fun. There was about 250 people in a room. Mums and dads and kids from the Special Olympics, and we probably could have done a whole week of karaoke if we'd let them. But while we were there, they had a table of books from the Organization for Literacy here in Sarnia-Lambton, and they have a give a book campaign. So they brought a whole bunch of books and laid them out on these tables, and everybody was welcome to take a book. And I saw this Leonard Cohen book full of poems, and I thought, boy, oh boy, and it's just got some really great poems of Leonard Cohen. And it was just nice to have a reminder of Leonard Cohen, you know. And,
indeed. He's part of my growing up, really.
Well, this book was published in 1956.
Well, he was still around when I was born.
So he was 22 then.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, classic songs, which were played on the folk music circuit back in the day. Yeah. All good. Right. Yeah. Short advertisement.
I've been enjoying that.
Okay.
Enjoying that.
Short advertisement. We're going to try and get some viewers this time.
Sure.
Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK, anything goes with myself and Fons Chamberlain, where there will be a music quiz. There'll be a quiz about quizzes. There will be chat about here, there, and everywhere. And you're welcome to actually join us. That's 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. in the UK. And you're guaranteed a good time. Okay. And then just second advert. I'll take that one down. Is this one. And on Wednesday, exactly the same time, live on the Be Live page on YouTube, myself and Irene, or Irene and me, because Irene's the marketing manager of Be Live. And we'll be joined by Marco Novo and Brigetti for the first of what I hope to be a series of shows, but these will be on Wednesday, and this first one is on the Be Live channel. After that, it will be over on my channel, I think.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very good.
My day. Well, just between you and me, on Friday, Aaron said, I had this idea for a show. And I said, right, fair enough. Would you host it on your channel, Steve? And I said, yes, of course I'll host it on my channel. So I put together this card for the show on Wednesday. Yeah. And then today it all changed. And it's no longer on my channel. It's actually on the Be Live channel. So
how did that happen?
I don't know what happened over the weekend. I have no idea.
When you say it changed, the YouTube did it, or you mean they just decided to do it on
Be Live decides to do it on their own page.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So all good. So hide that too. Okay. So
now speaking of Be Live, is there I've heard wind of are we looking at doing a Be Live in 5 days live again?
I think we should, don't you?
Yeah.
In March. Yeah. As we're running out of February days. Yeah. Yeah, we should do a 5 days live.
Yeah. Hey, I'm always up for that.
Brilliant.
I'm always up for that. And I'm actually going to actually should get a link from you.
Okay.
Because you have the free Udemy course on how to use Be Live, right?
I do.
And that's still does that show how to use YouTube now as well?
It does.
All right. You send me that link because I wanted to add it into my Lambton College course.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I do talk about Be Live in the program. Very brief. It's very brief because there's not a lot of time, but I thought I could at least put that in there for those students who decide to take advantage of it beyond. Then they have that, right? So.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Did you know? Sorry, do you have something?
No.
Okay.
No, we're not doing politics. We're not doing health, religion. We could sort of go to the Oscars, I suppose.
Watch this. Here, or don't watch this. Listen to this first.
Okay.
Welcome to the VE3SAR repeater. The time is 12:38 p.m.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Did you understand that?
It's 12:38 p.m. But what the device itself is.
I am a ham radio operator. I don't know if I ever told you that.
No, you didn't.
I am a ham radio operator. Yeah. VA3 DBU. VA3 Delirious Big Ugly. That's how you remember that. Right. So this is a little. So I've been a ham radio operator. I got my license. I was 21. So 29 years ago. Holy crap.
Indeed.
And it's one of those hobbies where I was really into it. And then, life happens, right? And you grow and you do stuff. But I've always kept my license. And just in the last little while, I've kind of re-sparked an interest in, hey, I've got these, I should use that radio and it's portable. And for me, when I first got back into it a few years ago, about 3 years ago, I kind of sort of got back into it. And then life got busy again. Anyway, so now that I'm sort of getting back into it, but when I first did, you sort of forget. I think sometimes we get older and we forget that we got older, because then I went to open some old radios that I have and stuff, and it's like, that is like really old technology. Because we didn't have the internet. We didn't even know what the internet was.
Nope.
And so
didn't exist in our we didn't know about it.
No, we didn't. Not when I was 21. The internet wasn't even a word. And I can actually, and now they have an app for that.
Oh wow!
I can.
So it's moved over. It's joined the 21st century and gone mobile.
Yeah. So where exactly do you live again?
Devisers.
New Devisers.
Devizes.
Devizes. Let's see.
Yep.
Okay. What would be closest to that? Oh, wait a minute.
You found somebody?
Devices. No, what would be the next closest, say, city?
Swindon. Swindon. And whilst you're checking that out,
Swindon, UK.
Yeah. Leonard Cohen is amazing. One of Deborah's and my favorite songs is Hallelujah. He was quite an interesting man. I can partially agree with that. And
yeah, for sure. Tube radios.
Tube radio.
Yeah, I don't have any tube. I don't know if I have any tube radios or not left. I don't think I have any tube radios anymore. But the technology of two-way radios with crystals and circuitry and all that sort of stuff was my Morse code. Don't ask me to do Morse code because when they've changed the licensing. I don't think you even have to have Morse code anymore. But it used to be you got different levels of licensing. But here I've got Swindon, UK, GB3 TD. Let me see if I can connect to this. Connecting. There we go.
You have connected to a 6-link node, an Echolink application for the Linux operating system. For more information, go to svxlink.sourceforge.net.
There you go. So I'm connected to a repeater in Swindon right now. So I could.
This is live CB radio.
This is live. This is not CB radio.
No, sorry.
This is amateur radio. There's a difference.
I stand corrected. I shouldn't have spoke before I knew what I was talking about. A
lot of people, it's fun. I'm just giving you a hard time, but a lot of people go, "Oh, that's a CB radio." No, well, it works the same way, right? You get your microphone and stuff, but you actually have to take, at least here anyway, you have to study and learn Ohm's law and laws of inductance and capacitors and all that sort of stuff, and there's a test you have to take, and you have to get at least, I think, 70% on it to be allowed to even purchase a radio of this type. So,
right.
But let people go, "Oh, nice, cool CB." No, it's not. Anyway,
amateur radio.
Now we have it on. So let's see if I can talk to somebody.
Okay, David is on amateur radio. And he's trying to.
This is VA3 DBU Victor Alpha 3 Delta Bravo uniform via Echo Link. We'll see if anybody responds. We'll try again.
Okay.
CQ. This is Victor Alpha 3 Delta Bravo uniform via Echo Link in Canada.
Victor Alpha 3 Delta Bravo uniform, I think it was. Victor Alpha 3 Delta Bravo uniform to Echo 0. Whiskey Hotel Quebec 20 WHQ coming back to you. Name here is Dom Delta Oscar Mike. Back to you.
Yes, fine business. 2 Echo Oscar Whiskey Hotel Quebec, I believe. Did not catch your name. This is David, first name here. I'm actually broadcasting live on Facebook with my friend Stephen, who's in Devise and doing a demonstration here. So you're live on the internet with us here as well. Thanks for coming back.
think it was Delta Bravo Uniform, Victor Alpha 3, Delta Bravo Uniform. So I'm just scribbling it down on a piece of paper. I'm actually mobile at the moment, and the call sign this end was 2 Echo Zero, Whiskey Hotel Quebec, 2 Echo Zero, Whiskey Hotel Quebec, and the name here was Dom, Delta Oscar Mike, Dom. And yep, good to make contact with you over there in Canada via Echo Link there, David, and there was fine business about being live on Facebook as well. That's good to hear as well. Please feel free to correct your call sign if I got it wrong. But I've just pulled up outside my home QTH. I was actually mobile on my commute home from work, and just pulled up. And I was just trying to remember your call sign as I pulled up. But I don't have a piece of paper in front of me, so I'll scribble it down on the next over. So back to you there, David. Victor Alpha 3, Delta Bravo Uniform, I think it was, from 2 Echo Zero, Whiskey Hotel Quebec, straight mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, fine business, Dom. You have the call correct, and thanks for the comeback. Appreciate it. And I believe, yes, I have you correct as 2 Echo Zero Whiskey Hotel Quebec. We're here in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. You'll be able to look me up under the QRZ catalog as well. I'm going to say thanks and 7-3s to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate the comeback. And perhaps we'll contact you again, sir. 7-3s, Victor Alpha 3, DBU, Delirious, Big and Ugly.
Oh, that must be a first.
Victor Alpha 3, Delta Bravo Uniform from 2 Echo Zero, Whiskey Hotel Quebec, straight mobile. Okay there, David. Nice to make contact with you here on Echo Link into the southwest United Kingdom. The QTH of the repeater is in a town called Swindon.
Wow.
The UK here.
Wow.
But good to make contact with you. I won't hold you, and I'll say 7-3 for now. 2 Echo Zero, Whiskey Hotel Quebec, mobile signing clear for Victor Alpha 3, Delta Bravo Uniform on Echo Link. 7-3 there, David. Enjoy the rest of your day.
See, the gentleman speaking can't hear me, but that was interesting. It's only 15
There you
miles
go.
away from me. Wow.
And that is ham radio. That's modern day ham radio.
Right.
Now, and that's an example of, even though that's an app that anybody can download, you wouldn't be able to use it without a ham radio license. There's actually a process you have to go to be approved to use the app, etc. And so Echolink is this what I have here is what's called a 2-meter. This is a dual band radio, so 2 meter or 440. So to give you an example with that, 2 meter is over here anyway. It's 144, between 144 and 148 megahertz is the 2 meter ham band.
Right.
Oh, pardon me. And then 440 is the 70 centimeter band, we call it. Is 400 megahertz to 444. I forget exactly, but so there are 2 different frequencies. So here we have a local repeater that was the VE3 SAR that you heard, and we have 3 or 4. So what Echolink does is it's actually connected to a repeater. Repeaters around the world, I should say, that have a special device attached to it, connected to the internet, and et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole process. So anyway, that app allows us to connect to certain repeaters. So pretty well anywhere in the world from here on. So that was actually over the airwaves via internet, if that makes sense.
Right. Sort of. Sort of. Yes, I think so.
So
I think-
the internet, so the app, I'm connected to the internet,
yeah.
and then the Echolink service connects you to any repeaters. So a
Yeah.
repeater is, so there's a big tower up on top of our hospital here,
Yeah.
and it takes my signal and transmits it, repeats it, so you get a wider range.
Okay.
So there's all these repeaters around the world that are connected to this app via the internet. They have a device.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's how we were able to talk to Dom.
And
Is his
then
first name?
you effectively dialed Dom in Swindon.
Yeah. He was just driving home from work and pulled up in his driveway. And when you heard him say, "I just pulled up in front of my QTH," QTH is his location, or that would mean it's home. Kind of like CB lingo for what's your 1020, what's your 20.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when I said you can look me up in the QRZ catalog, there's actually a catalog, or there's actually an app. Actually, I can do this right now.
Okay. It's a whole new world. Oh, sorry, an all new old world.
And you just learned something new about me that you
Indeed.
didn't know before.
No, I did not.
Like in the QRZ. Where is it? There we go. Call sign. So there's a call sign database. Oh, where is that? Where did it go? Yeah. There it is. So I can actually go in here and go, okay, so he was 2 Echo 0. Whoops. 2
Okay.
Echo 0. WHQ. So that's his call sign. If I do a search, it says, there it is. His name is Dom Wilkinson. And I have his address.
Right.
1 Elmore Eldine. Does that sound familiar to you?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not from Swindon.
And-
It's a foreign land.
Okay. And then it has his, so that's his home address.
Yeah.
England. And it's actually got his email there. And that's volunteer that you put your information into that database.
Right.
So a lot of times when you make a contact with somebody, you used to email postcards to each other to confirm that you made a contact with each other. And so I'll probably, I may or may not send them an actual postcard, but I'll probably send them an email and say thanks. And a lot of guys keep logs of all the people they've contacted over time. So there you go. That was kind of cool.
It was interesting.
Healey says, sorry, go ahead, Jake, or Steve.
No,
go ahead, Stephen.
okay. If you don't know what you're doing, your antenna can screw up people's TVs.
Yeah, well,
you don't need an antenna now, do you?
Well, oh yeah, like this radio has an antenna. Like there's still, it's not all, the whole thing's not all done in an app now. There's still like people have
the infrastructure still exists, yeah.
Yeah, the radios and stuff, and even antennas. And Jennifer doesn't want me to put antennas up on the roof. I could put a long wire antenna up on the roof, and she wouldn't even know it was there. But yeah, we have. I mean, I could interfere with somebody's TV or whatever. Now we have Facebook and Be Live. Seems easier. Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Originally, it was all about, it was communicating all over the planet, which is what we're doing here on Facebook Live. However, Kelly, there's a hobby to it. Keep this in mind. It was learning about electronics, and it was learning about, the Ohm's law, and it was learning about how things worked, and making it happen on one of these takes a little bit more, right? So there's more. I know I sound a little defensive about the hobby, but there's more to it than that. It's always been one of those things. It's like, oh, well, what do you need a license for just to be able to push that button and talk on the radio? There's more to it than that to understand it. Especially.
It's got to be used responsibly.
Yeah, that's right. But it's a hobby to learn how things work and to build things, that sort of thing. The electronics of it. I wish I still had it, but I had an old Heath kit and I built my first. Well, it wasn't my first radio, my second radio. I built my second radio when I was 22, 23 years old,
Right.
from scratch. So, and that took me quite a bit of time. It took me probably a good 6 months to build the radio. So, my first radio, which was not transmitting radio, but was an AM radio, I was probably about 10 years old. And Radio Shack had these little kits that you followed the instructions and you connected the one wire to the spring and stuff. And it was my first radio, my Foxhole radio.
See, I'm going to say I built one of those too, a long time ago, but never got into CB. Yeah, but so
it was actually the radio that I built from Radio Shack, but then I built the Foxhole radio after that for a science fair project in like grade 6 or 7, something like that. Right. I had to, I don't know if you remember you did it, but we had the toilet paper roll and we wrapped a bunch of wire around the toilet paper roll, so many coils. And then you had the a safety pin with a piece of lead on the end of the safety pin, which connected to a razor blade. And then you moved that. Yeah, wow. Boy, it's all coming back to me.
Kelly's saying he had one of those too. There you go.
I even had the biggest one that I remember them having was the 201 electronics kit. And then it disappeared. And then, of course, over time. And then about 5-6 years ago, I ran into a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a long time. And he had a little electronics shop. And we got talking about it and stuff. And he goes, come here. And he pulled out an original 201 electronics kit. And I go, wow, I can remember building this. That. And he goes, here, you can have it. So I actually have one of those 201 Radio Shack electronics kits in my closet. So there you go. Well, that just killed 20 minutes pretty good.
No, it was it. I mean, it was genuinely interesting. And the fact that you were able to make contact live is an achievement. And all good. I mean, we've always said there ain't no rules. We talk about what we want to talk about. So, but it was an interesting trip.
Yeah.
And we've gone down memory lane because you've gone back to 1991, and then you went even further back. You're back at school. Wow.
Pretty much. Jeez.
Indeed.
Talk about feeling old. I don't know how that happened.
That's all in the mind. All in the mind. I do assure you. Yeah. Totally. Right. So, who's on the show at 3:30 today?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I've got gentleman Alan McCune who's going to be talking about microprobes and part of what they call a central forum that's going to be happening here at St. Giles Church. And then I have Ryan Kerr, who's the 2012 United States Lawnmower Racing Champion. And he builds motor heads and part of the Western Ontario Outlaws. He'll be racing here in Petrolia from us. 2 great interviews. And also we do our once a month, Dave Brown, who's the executive director for United Way Sarnia Lambton, joins to give the monthly update on what they're doing and programs coming up. And I'll talk about a few other little things in the beginning. I always mention our show as well to say my friend Stephen Healey and I, this is what we talked about. So, and I have to do a Sarnia Sting recap, which is...
Oh, dear. Yeah, better times are on the way. It will get better.
Yeah.
It will get better.
Got to keep the sponsors happy. There you go. That's it for me, Stephen.
Right. Okay. There's still time to turn it around. And for Burnley to get the 9 points and stay in the Premiership. That would be good. Right. I see that you're throwing it back to me to close the show. Do you want me to close the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you do it.
Okay. I just thrown back at me. I thought, right. Okay. So everybody's joined us live today. Everybody's commented, especially to Kelly and to Barry and to Corinda and everybody who's actually said something, and if we've missed you out, Dan, sorry, if Dan's still watching, to everybody, thank you. You help make the show enjoyable from our side, and we'll be back next week at the same time. That's 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. in the UK. So from myself in Devices in Wiltshire in England, it's goodbye for now, and from that's your
Sarnia,
cue.
Ontario, Canada. And thanks
Bye,
everybody
everybody.
for being
Okay.
here. If you enjoyed it, give us a 10 in the comments below. And if you didn't, do nothing but come back again next Monday.
Okay.
Bye.
And the final comment of the day goes to Kelly, and Kelly's saying bye. Bye, Kelly. And we'll switch off the electricity